Gemini.
Hello everyone, I have an announcement to make before we get on with this month's forecast, and we have some exciting news. We've developed what we call the audioscopes, and this is coming in addition to what you get here on YouTube. There are YouTube videos outlined what you can expect and when, outlines the dates and so forth. The audioscopes though, they go a little bit deeper into the material and what you can expect emotionally, spiritually, and how to roll with the energies and the influences coming in the current months. So you can check it out for your convenience. I'm putting down the link right here and also down in the description area so that you can find it there on the home page. Now these audioscopes run approximately 15 minutes. Gemini, this is your forecast for August of 2013. And this month is going to be a little bit up, a little bit down. Okay, so somebody might get their feathers a little ruffled, but not too bad though. But this is why we have our forecasts, so that you can be prepared and know what's coming up. Yes, Gemini, we have top of the month, a very nice situation where I see healing energies coming in, where you and your partner may be able to heal something of a situation that might have been going on in the past, but where communication right now is going to bring it up, and I see you being more on the same page. For you, this has to do with the home, your environment. It might have been something earlier on that kind of now is coming up to the forefront, where things can be expressed without too many defenses, because then, whenever there's a defense, there's also a separation of really listening to one another. So this is good. It just puts you in a very harmonious ease, and Venus and Mars is hand in hand. This is between you and your loved one. You're going to be sharing energies really well, and the focus is going to also be moving into the area of your finances and your home, and perhaps how you can cooperate, how you can share a little bit more, both on a practical level, but also perhaps even on a financial level, where things can balance out so more is suitable for the two of you. That's for the two of you in committed relationships. If you're in a new relationship, it might just be looking a little bit more at that deeper sense of worth, the feelings that you're having, and how you're nurturing each other, because Mars is in Cancer. And your Venus here is in Virgo, so you're kind of like reflecting a whole lot. And maybe even reflecting to the point where you're comparing certain things taking place now as opposed to how they used to be in the past or in past relationships. So it kind of gives me a good sense that you're pretty happy with where you're at. Then we have the Sun and Uranus. That's the 3rd and 11th house for you. For you, communication here this month is highlighted. How you communicate, what you communicate, what you're taking in, what you're reading, listening to, what you're putting out there as far as your own sense of communication, and to groups, okay? Because it's the 11th house, it's social. So you might have a whole lot more affiliations going on this month. And the new moon is here, so this is absolutely fabulous for you, Gemini. You might be starting up something totally new as far as social networks as well. That could be joining, it could be creating, it could be things now that you've worked on for a while, but that's coming together now that Mercury is going direct. So I'm happy and I'm very pleased and excited for you, because already at the end of this month, by the full moon, which is on August 20th, you'll see that whatever it is going out there now is going to give you back here in faraway places, okay? So it's not just local neighborhood community type, but it's for you more to reach out to the world. And the way this is going to come back in through your 9th house, it's Jupiter and it is Uranus, because your 9th house is ruled by Uranus. So I see technology, and this is why I'm saying the internet is probably booming here for you. in such a grand way, because you have this Jupiter-Uranian ninth house, which always keeps you very active on what's going on out there, and wanting to take it in, but you're communicating yourself here this month on far away situations. So you might be reporting something, and you'll see in that case it's going to be very, very fruitful for you. Then we have a situation where we spoke about that this month will be a little up and down, and you might get some feathers ruffled. We have Jupiter and Pluto here on the 7th. Now, this can happen to you on a personal level because we're looking in your chart. But of course, we have to remember that this is international transits as well. So it may be things happening out there in the world. When we have Jupiter, this huge planet, and then we have Pluto, which is very dynamic, and not just dynamite, but can be nuclear. These two planets being opposed, well, we might see something out there in the news that can be really felt, where we can feel empathy with whatever that is going on, wherever that may be, so we may see it there. But on a personal level for you, where this is going on, it's between your 2nd house and your 8th house. So your own personal finances and other people's money or commissions, you might feel that something there is a little bit of a tug of war, or something promised that hasn't come in yet, and then you're going to have to deal with it. Now, Mercury is moving out of this sector of your finances, and this is where it's been focused for the last couple of months. It's been retrograde, so it's been lagging and taking time. But now, your ruling planet is moving out of this sector into the 3rd house, which is your ruler. You rule the 3rd house. And so Mercury's happy there. So you'll see from the 8th how things are really now coming together and getting it on the map as far as what it is you're communicating. If this is, Gemini, a new business, well, then it is no better time for you actually to kind of start it, because you have your ruling planet in your ruling house. And also we have the new moon here, so that is also initiating how you want things to work this month and through the coming months throughout the year. So you have a lot of good players, a lot of solid energy on your side. But then on the 11th, be a little bit aware. This is one of these ruffle days because Mercury is square Saturn. So if you're going to have to pitch something or have a meeting, an interview with some kind of top-notch person, it might feel that it is a little difficult, that you're not flowing that day because Saturn is blocking it. So if you can avoid having a meeting on this day, especially for anything really important, that's a good thing. I just wait a few days, let Mercury pass. And let me tell you, Mercury's passing really quick. It's moving. It's changing signs twice within 14 days here, as opposed to being stuck in one sign for 8 weeks. So just give it a few days. Just avoid the 11th. From the 14th onwards, that would be a good day, so reschedule there, because this very same Mercury is beaming a golden beam up to your 11th house there to Uranus. Now Uranus can turn whatever was difficult on the 11th totally around. It can flip it on its head, and that will open up new doors. I see that being really, oh goodness, it's like I see your charisma coming out just due to the very energy of it, because it's like it will electrify, it will create this spontaneous energy where you just know that this is it. And this is where your gut feeling has kind of been navigating you towards, thinking perhaps that you were there and then the Saturn blocked you. It's like, nope, not there. Then Uranus is going to put it into place. So the 14th and the 16th is really good, because then Venus is moving out of your home sector. It's going into the fun part of your chart where you will have a lot of good time, hangout time, pleasure, creative times for you to either just go explore new love if you're single, or have a vacation, catch up on those things that you love to do but never take the time off to do. So yeah, 5th house is the inner child having fun, and you will have that with you here for a few weeks, so enjoy. And then we also have On the 23rd, your ruler moving into the 4th house, so you have a very short time between the 8th and the 23rd for your ruler to act in this house of communication. So if you're writing blogs, or you're writing on a novel, or you're reporting or something, really get it in between the 8th and the 23rd, okay? Because then your mind is going to shift into family and your home and things needing to be dealt with there. So that's going to take a huge portion of your mental capacity there. 24th, there might be a situation with money coming up. Pluto and Venus is square, and your Venus then at that time will be in your 4th house, and Pluto then up in the 8th house. So if you've perhaps, this is one scenario, one way it could work out. Say you've been seeking to consolidate a loan, and it sounds good, well, here's a hiccup, okay? Or if you're trying to refinance, okay, here's a hiccup on the 24th. Not saying that it's going to end there. That may shift, but there's a challenge coming up. And I see how it's going to frazzle you, just because also Mercury's combust that day with the Sun. And so I see you being really energetic to try to get something in place. But hold faith though. Now, a little bit muddled communication on the 25th. Mercury and Neptune is going to be opposed to one another. So this means that somebody's going to say something and you will hear it in one way, but they didn't intend it that way. Now, what's going to make it worse, looks like you're going to take action on something they said, which of course then becomes the conflict. Or vice versa. You might say something or give a message to somebody that's not coming across very clear or direct, and they will think this is what they heard and they will take action on something. So that's the 25th, and then also throughout that day coming in, you will know that, oh my God, okay, here's something that's not right. So you're going to have a talk through, and the good thing is about that, this talk through is really you focusing on how to get this message clear and straight, and being conscious of how you communicate and the person too, because see, when you come to the 27th, something is going to have to be either redone or tweaked, and this is a consequence of that muddled communication. So we got a little whoopity-doo there, 25th to 27th. Now, Mars is going to move into Leo here, 28th, so out of your financial house. A lot of you have been working on tweaking your finances, how you can improve, how you can balance things out, how you can nurture also, you know, whatever it is that's worth to you to nurture. It is in the sign of Cancer. So now it's going to move into this area of where you rule, of 3rd house. So I see whatever it is you started there between the 8th and the 23rd. Well, even though Mercury left it, I see that Mercury just opened those doors. Here comes Mars, going to take over. Be there for a while. And I see you really working up a steam there, Gemini. Loving what you're doing. There's action. The Sun is still there. All of this is giving you a golden beam up to Uranus there in the 11th house. So there's people, groups of people. I see you being busy, communicating, thriving in what it is you're doing. And then, of course, you know, here, end of the month, we have Mercury and Pluto in a trine. So that's going to give you feedback already on what it is you started earlier in the month. You will hear definite signals and signs that you have touched like a golden stream of something that is only the beginning of something that can grow much larger. So you're happy by the end here. Your Sun and your Saturn is thriving. You're feeling solid. You're feeling good. The communications have come back to you, and I see you reaching even further, okay, because that Mercury, your ruler, and Jupiter, they're going to tie the knot. And whatever you get there as feedback or new contracts, new leads, actually, is what's going to be shooting you into September. So I'll be excited to see what next month brings to you. So in the overall, this is what we have for you here this month, Gemini. And next month we got new things lined up. But do listen to your sun sign, no, your moon sign and your rising sign. That of your partner as well. And then, of course, also go check out the audioscopes because we go deeper into the planetary energies and how they're affecting you emotionally and spiritually. So I think that could be quite exciting. And